Management is about donning a brand new hat every time. The question is, are you varied enough to be able to fit any situation? That's exactly what Welingkar is training all of its students to do. How do they do it? This is where we find out.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. This seems to be the motto of the Welingkar Institute of Management and Research. Recently renamed We School, the 35-year-old management institute in the heart of Mumbai prides itself on what it calls experimental learning. This is reflected in the range of courses the We School offers. In addition to a 2-year traditional PGDM course, there are industry-specific courses such as e-business, business design, healthcare and retail management.
With regard to e-business, at a time when there was .com bust, here was a business school who thought that this is the right time to launch a program like this, and that has been a hit, particularly with companies like Infosys and Wipro. So much so that they requested that why don't you set up a parallel unit in Bangalore itself.
And in these troubled economic times, students here feel that the specialized approach to management education can give them an edge over others.
My course is called the PGDM E-Base, and it is the most sought after course in the campus. It has more IT oriented subjects. We have subjects like IT security, business analysis, etc., which are in sync with the IT world and which cover the needs of the IT industry that is booming right now.
The institute says they don't just believe in giving an MBA degree to a student, but also prepare them to meet global standards and groom them in such a way that they immediately get hired.
In our curriculum, we bring in things which are related to global issues like international business, international marketing, international trade. We also have different foreign languages which we teach them.
Kishore Biyani of Pantaloon was the one who mooted this idea with our director, the Dr. Salunkhe. Why don't you have a program in retail management? And he said, I'll pick up all your students. Now, of course, we are offering our students to across the board, whoever. But first 3 years, entire batch was taken away by Mr. Biyani.
Innovation in management degrees is one thing, but how innovative is the classroom experience here?
When you're attending a marketing class, you almost become a marketing specialist. When you're attending a finance class, you become a finance specialist. But there is something called team teaching that we use out here, wherein you have a particular case or a particular situation and you have faculty belonging to different specializations together in that classroom, and the students are then asked to look at the problem from a holistic approach, where it is not only one point of view but the overall organization point of view that they are trained to think about.
Any assignment that I give to the students has to be done after talking to at least 100 people on the streets. Suppose they were to talk about maybe coming up with some business model for an insurance company. The insistence is on talking to at least 100 to 150 people who are either customers of an insurance company or wish to have a policy. So unless you get that kind of information from people, the students are not going to come up with something different and new.
At Welingkar, a competitive CAT score is not good enough. The institute says it is looking for people who can be world leaders.
We include a lot of other aspects, like we have a psychometric test which looks at the personality types of people, also looks at how they would respond to different situations, and we also have a creativity test. The creativity test looks at how a student is he able to really look at a problem and look at some very different way of addressing it as compared to a very common man approach.
Harsha Agarwal, a media studies graduate, was worried about how she would cope with the demanding course structure. After all, she had no prior experience in business studies.
When I came here, I was very apprehensive on me being more from the creative side, how would I actually learn operational efficiency, and how would I be able to crack debit and credit and all these different things which are important in a business. But when you interact with these students who come with their own skill sets, it's amazing how much you can just learn by interacting with them. For example, if I have a problem with financial accounting, I know exactly who's the person to go to, and I know he'll solve my problem.
You've already seen how students are being created for a world-class profile. They're going to be world leaders in their own right. And of course, right now I'm joined by Professor Dr. Uday Salunkhe, who is the creator of the We School brand. You've seen this campus, like you said, grow from strength to strength in terms of being, I remember you saying, from a small place to now a very big infrastructure. So tell me about that growth that you've personally witnessed over the years.
Very small setup, 3 classroom setup to 1,70,000 in Mumbai, similarly 65,000 square feet setup in Bangalore. Invested close to about $15–16 million in both the places, and created probably the campus space, very enabling kind of or challenging, invigorating kind of environment for the students and all stakeholders.
So most B schools would be creating students to work towards a corporate environment where they're being produced and created to be global leaders and to be heading business firms. Is that what you're only catering to, or is there more to that ideology? What you want to be readying your students for?
See, typically, most of the business school look at nurturing managers, nurturing leaders. We felt that is the prime motive for which they are there in the business school. They need not to be taught of looking at top line and bottom line. But the very crucial in today's time, when we look at the society, look at the nation or globe even, that they need to be beyond manager to a citizen manager, beyond that to global citizen manager. And this process, at least we term it as a kind of man-making process, you can say, or nurturing the human being and leading towards nation building.
Dr. Salunkhe, thank you so much for joining us. And I love how he's very appropriately and rightly said passion, because that's really what the students need. There are students who come from all walks of life to this institute, from different parts of the country and the globe. But what they really do together is they blend in to create the fabric for what is really going to be the modern India, which is going to be very conscientious. And that's what you need to have a look at right now.
Students joining We School are promised a truly international experience. Every year, several foreign students come here through exchange programs, and this provides Indian students an opportunity to learn from them.
What we realized is when you look at an international campus in a business school, if you look at the classroom, you see people from so many different nationalities sitting in that class. That peer group learning which happens over there, that's fantastic.
International students at Welingkar say they find the curriculum here better than what is offered at universities back home.
One of the things that I found different here is that at Welingkar it's 90% practical and 10% theory, whereas at my school it's like 90% theory, 10% practical.
For Alex, an international marketing student from France, this institute has helped him understand the dynamics of the Indian trade system. He wants to settle down in India in the near future and start his own venture.
We all know that the economic situation in Europe is not so good. So that's why I wanted to discover India and all its opportunities. And I chose Welingkar in particular, maybe because of its strong entrepreneurship spirit.
The international students feel diversity in classroom has made learning more enriching.
All these students, they come from different backgrounds. Some are engineering, some are in accounting, some are international relations like myself, some in history. And so it's just interesting to interact with students from all different backgrounds, but all working towards or working in a business environment.
We've also had projects and case studies about things like NAFTA, the US recession, things like that. And so people have come to me asking about, how it's affected me and my personal experience with it and how it's affected my family and our friends and people in the States. And being able to have that exchange of those first-hand experiences has definitely benefited both sides.
They innovate, they challenge, they aspire to be the very best. No wonder then that every single student at Welingkar is convinced this is the B school to be in. Bye-bye, guys.